What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And this time I'm back for a recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 3, episode 16. Okay, so episode starts back off with Giselle and Monique. You know, they're still having their breakfast, and Giselle then told Monique she's like a ninja and she'll come out swinging, whatever the fuck she said. Giselle, you ain't gonna do shit and sit your ass down. I done already pretty much said what I needed to say on this, you guys. Giselle is so up in arms, so in her feelings that these ladies was bringing Kendall around. You claim you don't care, but yet you're talking about it. I get that she's upset. I understand that. I feel like they were wrong and petty, Charisse and Monique. And I actually missed out last week on Charisse even, somewhat admitting that she was being petty by bringing Kendall around. Monique, I felt like you could have just fully owned it. You did backpedal. Once this all played out, you did try to backpedal. But then you was like, you know what? I did have ill intentions at first, but once it was time to deliver and get all into it, I didn't want to do that to you. I didn't want that to be my intention. I can understand that. And that was Monique being honest. And Monique is upset now with Charisse because Charisse put it all off on Monique. And then I believe I saw a clip from Watch What Happens Live. And Monique said that Charisse, it was her idea to bring Kendall around. And then all of a sudden they get on camera. This was before they started filming season 2. Then all of a sudden they get on camera. She acting like she don't know, where Kendall came from. Oh, it's all on me and it's not all on me. So I do believe Monique in that regard because Giselle did bring up them fireman rumors that Charisse was cheating on her husband. I could see Charisse being petty about that. And Charisse even somewhat admitted she was being petty. So I do believe Monique. Like I said, I feel like they was both wrong. I feel like that's childish. You don't bring somebody's ex around. But then, like I said, you guys, Giselle has been such a nasty bitch to all the women on the show. She's been really nasty. And when you're nasty like that, what does Monique say? The clown comes back to bite. And the joke is on your ass. And look, that last part is what I said. But yeah, the joke is now on you, Giselle, that these women was trying to bring this man's ex around. But the sad part is now Giselle and Sherman is not together. My thing is this with relationships, whether they tried to bring her around or not, I understand it, but this is the thing. He could still date Giselle if he really wanted to. We gotta stop with this whole, oh, well, they did that and now I don't want to be in a relationship with you. If you really love and want to be with somebody, you're going to be with that person. You ain't gonna give a damn about what's going on with it. You love and want to be with that person. So Sherman's ass, as far as I'm concerned, his ass was checked out. He didn't want to be there no more, period. So next, the ladies go wine tasting. So the ladies is trying out all these different wines, eating different cheeses, and the man is showing them around. He's teaching them how to say they're drunk in French. I mean, they're really having a good time. Okay, so let's get to this little part with Charisse and Monique, and they're talking about which one of them was being messy when they wanted to bring Kendall around. The person I saw that brought Kendall around was Monique. And Monique, like Charisse said, you do need to own it. You do need to own that you are being messy because you said, well, yeah, I agreed to bring her around because, she was saying little stuff about me. So just say that, that was really your intent because I didn't see Charisse bringing her around. I think that Charisse probably wanted some get back, but was going to be more careful about how she did it. But Monique, you flat out clearly did it. And I saw Charisse being more or less hesitant well, what is Kendall doing here? I remember that one episode. What is, she was genuinely acting like, well, oh, you invited her to the Hurricane Harvey thing. Well, what was she doing? Sharice really was clueless on, I believe they had a conversation on it, but I don't think that Sharice really knew that Monique was going to follow through with it. That's what I think. And Monique, you got to own it. Okay, so Monique feels that because Sharice and Giselle are in a better place, that all of a sudden Sharice is trying to act like she don't know her part in it, which I could clearly see. Sharice, if you was being messy, you need to own it as well, sis. Okay, so we have Karen and Candace. Candace pulls Karen to the side and said, I remember what you and Sharice was telling me, how I be acting amongst the group. I appreciated our conversation, this, that, and the third. So while they're having a conversation, Robin and Ashley are around as well. And Karen says to them, she calls Robin and Ashley over to, where they're at. They're right in the same area, but they're not right by them because Candace wanted to address Robin and Ashley and the girls. So all of a sudden, Ashley and Robin wants to start taking pictures. And this is that bullshit I be talking about. Y'all constantly leave this girl out and you constantly wonder why she acts like a little girl the way that she does. Y'all constantly leaving her out, cutting her off. Whenever she tries to adjust the group, they move on real quick and get up and leave. You cannot keep treating people like that. They were being rude. And if Candace, you better than me, you were doing a lot of pulling people to the side on this episode. I wasn't here for it. I wouldn't do it. I don't feel like you need to do that. I feel like if these bitches hear what you're saying, then they hear what you're saying and they're either going to act accordingly or not, and they don't feel like they have to. So Karen addresses Robin and Ashley for them being rude and taking their pictures while Candace was trying to address them. And here go Robin. Well, damn, can we just take our pictures? And Ashley, oh, I know this ain't about no picture. And it's just like, you bitches are rude as hell if you don't see what you're doing. You guys, I'm beginning to see something with Robin and Ashley where they don't mind disrespecting women, but they will put their men on such a huge pedestal. That is not how you treat people. You treat people equally and with respect. And Robin know damn well if that was Juan trying to get her attention, her ass would have been all up in his face, ready to receive whatever. Ashley, the same is for you. You get up and jump. Michael done told you he don't even want to have a fucking baby with you, and you still talking about your marriage this and your marriage that. You ain't got shit, bitch. So Giselle walks over to the group and asks them, well, what's going on with y'all? And then Robin is just like, well, apparently we can't take pictures. Shut up and tell her everything that just happened. These bitches are so childish. So Candace gets to addressing the ladies. So Candace lets the ladies know, she is going through a lot. She is attempting to make friends with them. She's getting married. She has this going on and that going on. And, she just wants them to see her for who she is and everything that she's going through. And she feels like they've been unfair to her. And I agree. During this time, you got Giselle rolling her motherfucking eyes, like she don't give a fuck. And I'm just over you, Giselle. Yes, Candace, I love when you told Giselle, you don't choose to see anything because you got your head so far up your ass. And that's stupid ass Giselle. Well, I actually like my head and my ass. Giselle, you's a crazy bitch. I thought it was funny when Karen said, okay, you're getting off course again. And I know exactly what Karen is talking about. Candace, you gonna have to address these bitches, and you can't be crying and you can't be doing anything that signals weakness. Yes, we all cry and yes, we feel how we feel, but when you addressing a whole bunch of bitches, you can't be doing that because they're not gonna take you seriously. So We got Giselle, Robin, and Ashley acting stupid, getting on Candace for this whole princess title. And she was like, well, you know, somebody did call me that in the group. I believe it was Sharice. It don't really matter who called her that. Y'all all just treat the girl like y'all not interested in what she's saying. And I'm more so disappointed with Ashley because Ashley, this girl is closer in age to you than anybody on here. And I really did think that you the one I believe brought her ass on here. So for you to start acting all snooty with Giselle and Robin, Ashley, you are a fake ass bitch and I'm not here for you. And Karen told her, don't give away your tears so easily. And I agree, because once you get to crying, once these ladies see that you care so much about pleasing them and them getting to know you, I wouldn't even keep up with these announcements. It would be like, bitch, this is who I am. This is how I do things. And this is what it is. Not, oh, well, I need to keep telling them every 5 minutes about who I am and I don't want to be called a princess. You have to change the way you communicate with people in order to be taken seriously. And that's anybody. So they in the car, Monique. No, sis. You sit up here. I need to buy wine by the barrel. They already think you're an alcoholic, sis. I wouldn't have made that comment. So next thing I know, child, they in a motherfucking car and Karen and Ashley getting into it about who uses whose husband's money to do what. And then Ashley talking about enterprise is Ray's business. Is it not Ray's? And it's just like, Ashley, shut the fuck up. You know more about what's going on in these women's lives than you do in your own. And that's what people do. They would rather focus on your shit than their miserable, pathetic ass life. That motherfucking Karen clowned Ashley. She said that, oh, well, Ashley, my marriage is an institution. Your marriage is the fake the world. fake for the world type of marriage. And it is. It's fake as hell. You know he don't want no kids with you, Ashley. You full of shit. Ashley says to Karen, well, you're the one that said that Ray's penis is old and dried up. Ashley, I don't believe that woman said that to you. And then Karen shot back out with something that was very interesting, you guys. Karen shot back out to Ashley saying, you know what? You always gather information and you put a stupid ass little spin on it and get out in the world telling people all these stupid ass stories. And Ashley, you do that. You do that shit. And it's uncalled for and it's disrespectful. Ashley, you keep talking about drop the facade to Karen. Bitch, you drop the facade. Karen is actually in a marriage with somebody that wants to be with her. With somebody that, she didn't had a child with or he didn't parented them kids either way. So she's been married. What did she say? 21 years. What do you have? Ashley, you have a marriage where you had to update a fucking prenup because the motherfucker don't really want you like that. And he ain't trying to give you no baby. He ain't trying to help you with your mammy. He's sick of you. You got a lot of fucking nerve. I'm so sick of her ass, you guys. And you got people all on Facebook. Well, I love how Ashley give it to Karen. I wouldn't have an issue with Ashley giving it to Karen if Ashley's life wasn't such a fucking joke. See, I can't laugh at shit. I can't laugh at people and the joke is really on them. I can't do that. That motherfucking Karen said, girl, bye. You an old book that I saw yesterday. Now that was funny. Ashley did score a point, y'all. Y'all know I don't like the little bitch, but the bitch scored a point where she said that Karen was a broke version of Tina Knowles. That was a good one, Ashley. Giselle all in her motherfucking confessional talk about this shit is getting good. Yes, I bet you loving this, Giselle, with your messy ass. Oh, Karen clowned Ashley. Oh my God. Okay, so Karen clowns Ashley and she pretty much says to her that your husband kicked you out. What did she say? Put her in a studio moved you a mile down the street from your sweatbox and then put your ass in the studio. Oh my God, honey, that is it. I'm done. They was going back and motherfucking forth. Oh my God. Then fucking Ashley brings up Ray and how he's willing to move away from Karen, and you know he's going to Florida with or without her. Like, how do you know this, Ashley? How do you know so much about what's going on in this woman's life? And my thing is, Karen, you didn't fight dirty enough. I would have brought up that bitch's dysfunctional ass mother. I would have been like, that's why you ain't got no mother, bitch. You got half a man and you got half a mother, and neither one of them want anything to do with your raggedy ass. And I bet you she would have shut her fucking mouth. I really liked Candace for this next moment, because Candace was in her confessional saying, you know what, Karen has been dealing a lot with her life. She's been dealing with her husband's tax issues, having, you know, parents that have passed on. You know, she is dealing with a lot of scrutiny, and Ashley is not acting like a friend. You know, and she even called Ashley out for Karen telling her certain things in confidence. And she's just like, you don't do that to a friend, throw their information back in their face. And that's true. You cannot do that to people. I remember I had a old best friend that would do that. You know, I didn't share my business with this bitch, and then we get a fallout going, and then the bitch, well, that's why that happened, and that's why. But bitch, when I tell you, Miss Robinson goes, if you go low, I ain't Michelle Obama, bitch. I ain't going high. I'm going even lower. You're going to feel it. I bet you when I was done with that bitch was, oh, well, how could you talk to your friend like that? Bitch, the same way you could talk to your friend like that. Now, how you doing? And that motherfucking Candace called Ashley out. She said, all you do is bullshit and make up shit, and I'm sick of it. And I'm here for it. Candace is so right. And it's so weird with Candace, because she does act like a fucking princess. And I think with time, Candace is going to be okay, because Candace does seem pretty logical, and Candace also is aware of her surroundings, and she does sit quiet sometimes and kind of watch them, and she sees when certain shit is not right, and she's willing to call it out. So I was all the way here for her having Karen's back, because it's not like the rest of these jealous ass bitches is gonna have Karen's back. They just, like Giselle, and go sit up there and laugh and, you know, just be on Ashley's side. And, you know, Karen doesn't tell them all her business, because she can't trust these bitches with her business. And a little bit that they know, they're gonna turn it around on her anyways. You don't do that. That motherfucking Candace told Ashley, you could suck a big dick. You could suck a dick. That shit was funny. And then Monique was like, well, which one should she suck? A white or a brown? Monique, you ain't shit. They was clowning at this point. This motherfucking episode was good. So next we got Candace. She's on the phone with her man, and she's letting him know how she's tried to open up to Robin, Ashley, and Giselle, and she never gets anywhere. And she feels like it's because Giselle doesn't like her. She feels like things are cool when I'm alone with Robin. And I agree. The dynamic does change when Candace, Robin and Giselle are together, rather than when it's just her and Robin, because her and Robin actually have a pretty cordial, cool relationship. And Robin actually, admitted that she does like Candace. I like what her fiance, what's his name, Chris, said. He said, well, just focus on Karen and Sharice. Those are the ones you may want to focus on, because they seem like they have your back. They talk with you. They let you know how to deal with these girls. So that's who you focus on. And I'm all the way here for what he said. You never focus on bitches that clearly, no matter what, is not going to like you. So now the ladies are getting ready to go on a boat ride. They all check in with each other and say, well, there's no arguing today. I believe it was Monique and Giselle was like, no, we go argue. That's what we do. And I'm like, it's always a negative bitch leading the pack with these type of things. Ashley, let me get your motherfucking ass together. You go try to confront Candace on the boat and say you didn't like her dipping into you and Karen's business when you guys were going back and forth, and you've been knowing Karen longer, and none of that matters. You're very nasty and disrespectful to Karen. You know what you are doing, bitch. And Candace simply called you out on it. It doesn't matter that she's new to the group. She's a witness to your fucking behavior. And you don't want to be called out. You're a lot like Giselle, where y'all are so nasty to people. And then when people get on your ass, you feel backed into a corner and, oh, they shouldn't have said something. Oh, they need to stay out of it. Then, Ashley tried to make fun of Candace by saying, oh, well, you can't be screaming and crying in one breath. You want all this respect and want to be listened to, but then you're jumping into me and Karen's situation. Those are apples and oranges, bitch. Candace asks for respect from you guys because you guys constantly disrespect her. You do it by cutting her off. You do it by putting her off on hold. You do it over and over again, and it's not cool. Monique, you actually tried to get on Candace as well, saying well, how she fired back and she can't be doing that. I like what Candace said. She said, everybody has a mouth. Everybody speaks out of turn. And because it's me, there's a problem. I have the right to call shit out when it's not right. And she's right about that. Giselle is a big ass liar. Her and Karen and Sharice, they're on one part of the boat. They're all talking. Giselle, stop focusing on what Karen is doing with her ring. And without it, like Karen said, do you have a ring, bitch? No. Do you have a man? The answer is no. So worry about yourself. And you lied because they showed back to Karen and did she have her ring on an hour ago, like you said. And that was a fucking lie. So Karen tells them about, why she takes her ring off and how she was, robbed at gunpoint and, and how she put in her hoo-ha, and normally that is your vagina, but it's Karen's breast. She just calls it that, and that's her own little thing. And then Giselle was, oh, well, we're in France, and a lot more people would rob you in Great Falls than in France. Giselle, shut the hell up. So Monique ends up, they stop at some little store or whatever. She's getting some shit for her Not For Lazy Mom's website, which do I care about? No. And then they're stopping and taking pictures. There's no arguing. Everything is actually all good for once. So next they're having a little birthday dinner for Monique. It's going to be burlesque. Everybody is dressed all up, all sexy and stuff. We actually get to see Giselle doing what she does best, which is being a mother. I think that Giselle is a wonderful mother. I don't know about friend, and I don't know about Giselle being a good woman, but she's a really good mother. It reminded me a lot about what me and my daughter go through. I guess her daughter had a rough first day of school and she felt alone and she was crying and sad, and my daughter has definitely went through that, and I had to be there for my daughter several times, so I completely understood that. And this makes I still don't fucking like you like that, Giselle, but it boosts you up, bitch, to 5%. So Monique is enjoying everybody being dressed up burlesque style. I guess she didn't know nothing about it. Then they get off into Candace. She apologizes to Monique for, acting the way she did at her wine event. And then Candace, this is where I have to get on you. You began to address the women and you began talking in this way of, well, are you guys really interested in getting to know me? You keep saying the same shit over and over again. And then you got Robin coming out. Well, I felt like I've always liked you and I felt like that wasn't fair. And if you see by now, Candace, they're going to deny how they act. They're going to deny that they don't understand. And it's not that they don't understand you. They're not even trying. And you have to stop trying to explain yourself. Just got to walk away and leave people, where they are at. And if they come back around, if they want to listen to what you have to say, then they will. It's really as simple as that. And I like what Candace said next to Robin. She said, Robin, well, you're fine when it's just me and you. But when Giselle chimes in, you guys are buddy-buddy and you are, you're influenced by Giselle, Robin, and you know that. Now, all that bitch got to do is put a battery in your back and you do whatever she wants. You react the way she wants. So you need to own that, Robin, that you do change when Giselle is around. So next, Giselle addresses Charisse about the whole bringing Kendall around situation. So Charisse addresses Giselle and says she had nothing to do with Monique inviting Kendall to anything or Karen. And Karen said, well, hey, I did give you the heads up. And Karen did give her the heads up. Giselle seems like she's really hurt because her and Charisse go back. They end up patching the situation up and, Charisse was just like, I wasn't really trying to hurt you, not in that way, I was rooting for you and Sherman. They showed a clip back to when Giselle and Charisse actually sat down, and I guess when the breakup was fresh, Giselle and Charisse was talking about it, and so Giselle feels like Charisse betrayed her and is being messy. And it does look funny that y'all bringing the man's ex around and she just broke up with him. And, especially for Charisse, because Monique and her are not friends. But yeah, like I said, they ended up patching the shit up. And I just feel like this is a messy ass show. Giselle, you're not above doing what they did. You do and say mean and hurtful shit all the time. So it's okay for you to do it. And when they do it, you're so hurt and betrayed. It's like, I'm kind of happy in a sense because now she's getting her karma. And now she knows how she needs to treat people. I honestly feel that way. I like that Karen stepped in and took Charisse's side and was just like, she wasn't trying to be messy with the whole Kendall thing. And I do feel like Charisse was being messy. And I think that it was Charisse's intention at first. And then once they got on camera, I believe she was playing a different game. She just probably didn't tell Monique. And, that's pretty much, how that shit went. She just didn't talk to Monique about, not really going through with it. I think Charisse had doubts. She knew that it was wrong. She said she removed herself from it. But yeah, Karen, I liked you stepping in and saying, hey, because Charisse was definitely caught off guard that Kendall was at some of those events. You could just see it all over her face. She felt uncomfortable. So next, Robin and Ashley do a burlesque little dance for Monique, and they pretty much redo the whole, remember when Monique had that umbrella up to Robin's neck, so they redo that. All the ladies is enjoying it and laughing. Monique, laughed at it. Her and Robin, they made up. They had never really squashed that beef, but they was able to put everything on the table right then and there, and I was happy for that. That's my recap, you guys, of Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.